So you require a mixture of soil which is 50% sand or perlite and 50% of coco peat or peat moss. So for this I have already kept a mixture of it. You know, if you don't want to mess up your hands, you don't want to dirty up your hands, there is a ready-made packet of soil, especially for the succulents, which you can buy out, and I've already mentioned it in the description box, so please check it out, guys. Now, since I have already made a mixture of this soil, I had already told you the content of it, and now what I did was that I poked a hole in the mud just 5 cm or 2 inches deep, and then people generally use rooting hormones to instigate the type of machinery required to produce roots, and so that it's able to sustain the environment, because it's just a baby plant. So in place of rooting hormone, what you can use is that you can use honey as a replacement. Okay, honey. You can even use cinnamon powder. Okay, so just dip that portion which you want to immerse in the soil. And now I have already poked a hole in the soil, and now I'll be immersing it here. Press the soil gently around it so that it tightens the grip. If you have already watered your plant, just water it so much that till the water trickles down from the bottom. If you find water trickling down from the bottom, it's pretty sure that there is plenty of water in this soil. Now I bought this type of holders because it's perfect, because it has proper drainage holes in it, and second, because it's very handy in nature. For transplanting cuttings or for even germinating seeds, it's a perfect setup. It came in a set of 4, and the place from where I have bought it, I have already mentioned the link in the description box. So that is just for making things simpler for you. Now, what is a water regime? Now the water regime which you have to follow in the start 10 to 15 days is from this day till the 15th day, you have to keep it in the shady area where this gets indirect sunlight. Okay, and you don't have to water it. After 15 days, keep it or shift it in the sunny area and just water it twice or thrice per week. If you want to check out whether your soil is drying or not, just poke a hole in the mud. If your finger gets sticky in it, it means that the soil is moist. But if your finger is dry, it means it needs a little bit of water. Now the stem portion also needs water. So I'll just sprinkle it. Just splash water on the stems if the soil doesn't need water. Now, as it is a native of Africa and it can tolerate extreme range of temperature from 15 degrees Celsius to 65 degrees Celsius. But in the winter season, it won't be able to survive extreme spells of weather. Just shift it indoors or under a windowsill or in the western or southern area where it gets indirect sunlight. Now when you're keeping this plant indoor, I'm just telling you a very important point to keep in your mind. When you're keeping it indoor and the sunlight is coming in from right side, only this portion of the plants get the sunlight. After 2 days, just turn it 180 degrees and keep turning it alternatively after 2 days, so that every 360 degree area of the plant gets similar heat from the sun. So it won't wither away or die, because generally during winter seasons, a lot of plants are not able to survive. And also it's a succulent. Now the second most important thing which you have to keep in mind for this is that a lot of questions, being a plant geek and my friends and families knows me, so they ask that why are they developing white spots on the plant, or why the stems have wilted. Now since it mainly survives in water and it will suck out most of the nutrient from the soil because you're keeping it in a pot, so what is required is that to supply it with bunches of nutrients in particular period of time. So you have to add on fertilizers. So after every 2 weeks, just fertilize it and add only 50% of the amount of fertilizer that is recommended on the packet. Just mix it with the water, dilute it, and just water it every 2 weeks. So that now also the people ask me that when is the blooming season? Now for this is July, and it will survive the whole winter season, and in the next summer, that is in June, maybe, probably, I hope it will bloom. So that is the blooming period. But not all plants will give you the seed pods. Okay, seed pods you can get only from those plants, and that too the probability is only 20 to 30%. Only the seed germinated plant will give you the seed pods, and for this the probability is less than 5%. So don't expect seed pods from it. But still you can do grafting techniques to it once it it develops a proper root. Roots will be developed after within 2 to 6 weeks. So within 2 to 6 weeks, if you want to check it out or you want to reshift into another pot, you can just check whether the roots have emerged or not. And so please send me pics. You guys can also send me pics of if you are growing Adeniums in your plants or your neighbors has just asked for the cuttings, and then you can grow it and then send me the pics. Now you can ask me questions and about any plant. And thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.